YouTube, bit of a different one. Where are we? Still in the camper van. So this video today, guys, it's gonna be one of the first videos that I put out that's sort of filmed as close to the time that I'm putting it out. I do a lot of content, a lot of these type of videos where I film them and then I'll store them and then I'll put them up a few months later, 3 or 4 months later. But these are subjects that sort of can float around in the ether. It's like a price, an hourly versus fixed price discussion. That can go at any time of the year. But if I do a video coping for winter, I can't put that up in summer. It doesn't make real sense. So this video is going to be my goals and targets for 2025. I'd say, and I'm putting it out now, probably second week of January. Well, second week, it's first week of Jan now. Because I urge you, you don't have to, but I'd say to you, no matter what, if you can, just take some time to yourself, have a little bit of a relax, and just schedule some time, or whatever. Enjoy yourself, enjoy your winter, but just sit down like I've done and just put pen to paper, and it helps me to get centered for this new year. I've got half a piece of paper here with my goals and targets on, which I keep. This is my work clipboard, and I keep all of my sorts of my diaries on here, and I've got like other stuff or anything that's pressing, I keep it here. And then after this video, I'll put this to the back and I'll forget about it. But then a few months down the line, I'll drop this and I'll reshuffle it all and I'll find it. And I'll be like, oh, that's my goals. And I can see it. It's on the back of my mind as soon as I see it. And it's important. It's not to nag you. It's not, an insulting goals where you set yourself unrealistic and you're like, I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to be a pro runner, But it's not where you set realistic goals and you go, oh shit, I've not got an extra customer, therefore I'm doing something wrong. Look at it in the light of, well, how come I've not got an extra customer? And well, actually I've not got that, but I've got more repeat work. So did I need that? Who knows? Like I said, it's something to get you thinking. It's something to get you working towards something, and that to me is important. So I'm going to rattle through my goals and targets. I'm going to just intersperse it. So I've got personal goals, I've got customer goals, and I've got goals for the business. I think let's do the business goals. So all of this can be boiled down to sort of, like I said, business and personal. I want to spend this year putting as much money back into myself and also my business. So when I first started my business, like many of you out there, you start your business and the first 2 years, for me anyway, was whatever I earned, put back into the business. So if I got quid went back into the business. If I got, 200 quid, it went back to the business. I was lucky in the sense that my costs are very low, so I can live off next to nothing. So I'm fine with that. I can put up with that. But at the same time, that meant for 2 years, I went without. Don't get me wrong. I had, meals out. It wasn't like I was rationing. If, I did what I wanted to, but I could have done more and I could have enjoyed myself more. I chose to put it back into the business. And then what ended up happening was, after that, the business was fine and I was earning more and more, well, a bit more and more, not huge amounts. But what ended up happening was I was able to put money into savings. And I've always been brought up to save. And then what ended up happening was it was a bit of a flip side where I ended up saving and still not spending. So I ended up with a lot in the savings account, but it wasn't like I was going without, but I was always putting away. I was always putting away for a rainy day. And, you know, it's like this year is the first year, well, not this year 2025, but in December 2024 was the first year I went away. Yes, I'd had odd nights out when I went and did robots, like in a Premier Inn, but that was part of the hobby. It was the first time I'd actually had 3 days where there was no work, nothing. I was on holiday, I was chilled out, I could do what I want, spend what I want, and, you know, I missed it, if I'm being honest with you. And it shaped how I sort of feel about going forward. So, like anything in life, there's a balance. You can't burn it at one end and let the other end fail. You know, you've got to have a balance. I've never been one for the whole live for the now, but I can definitely see how people live for the now after that. Because, you know, I had that hospital scare a couple of years ago where I had the bowel explosion and then colostomy bag and all that jazz. I had the operation at the start of January, the sexual realignment surgery. Now I had my stoma reversed. That was at the start of 2024. Don't get me wrong, before that I'd always sort of, you know, enjoyed what I thought I was enjoying, but realistically I was just working all the time and I wasn't actually enjoying what I was doing. I was enjoying it, but I wasn't enjoying it, if you get what I mean, because I've always been, you know, brought up to save. When I first started my business, there was all that, you know, you've got to try and put money away for this, put money away for that, you know, or you didn't have enough money, you know, because you were hungry all the time. So it's now, you know, this year it's going to change. So, like I said, one of my goals, I won't go into amounts because no one likes that. Feels a bit like that, shouldn't be. But one of my goals is I want to get X amount of money into a savings account. That's it. I'm near to that, so I'm not far from that. Another one is I want to put another X amount of money into what I would class as my business savings. That's the rainy day pot. Again, I'm not far from that, but I just want to you know, keep it topped up. And then I've got to have, so I've got another hernia here this time. Fun times. So I want to have a little bit of a pot of money for that. I'm hoping they do it at Christmas time, where I've already saved up for Christmas, so it's not so much of a problem. But you never know, you know, touch wood, maybe it's Christmas, but you never know. The surgeon might look at me scan results, because I went for a scan just before Christmas, and he might say, shit, we need to do it within months, so I need to get that ticked off first, so I've got money to live off. I've already got it, but I want it where it's bolstered up. And the reason is I've said this about money, it shouldn't be the be end all of life, but it is. Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a more pleasant form of misery. It's not the best way of looking at it, but it's true. All of the stressful situations I've had in my life has been down to lack of money, as in car repairs, bills, you know, shit job, you know, the fact that you think you're grafting hard and you look at your paycheck and it's terrible. So, like I said, I've always sort of, it shouldn't be, but it is the be and end all. So, let's get into these goals. First one, I want to tuck enough money away, and then that's the easiest. Save it up, put it away. What's next, Sam? Well, I want to put as much money as I can back into my business. My business, like anybody's, it's like, I don't know, a house, a pyramid, whatever. A clock, you know, there's lots of moving parts, there's lots of bricks. You need a good foundation. Me, Sam, I can see myself being a one-man band for the foreseeable future, maybe 5 years. Do I want to get staff? I've always said no. I want to be the best one-man band gardener that I can be. And I want my life to be as easy as it possibly can be. I think, I've said this before, nice tools makes my life easier. So I want to put whatever, when I can, I want to put as much money as I can back into the business as possible. So I've got a list of equipment roughly here. I want a couple more AP500 battery. Well, I want a couple more AP batteries. I'm going to get the 500 flavoured this time. I've got some still equipment which is it's not its way out, but it's the oldest one. So the blower and the blower and the strimmer, the combi engine, they're the oldest pieces of equipment, and they're also the oldest that I use a lot. So I hope we do it this year, but whenever they next do the battery deal where you buy a battery, a tool and a charge and you get a free battery, I'm going for it. Even if it's just for the 300Ss, I'll be going for it. I want to get a couple of new tools and I want to get extra batteries, because that's it then. That's sorted. That's future-proofing me for if I buy, say if I buy a still mower that requires 2 batteries, or a tool that requires 2, or if I get busier and busier with work, I want the flexibility of having all the batteries there and all the charge there that I can. So I want to get a trailer for the power wash. I'm hoping to get that done sooner rather than later. I've talked about why plenty of times. It's a pain in the arse lumping that power washer in and out of that van. Trust me on that. This is the contentious one. This is where you guys might have an input and think, shouldn't do that. I want to get some equipment that are expensive, but I might not use them all the time. And you might be thinking, why get ornaments? Calm it down, I'll tell you. I want to be the best one-man band gardener, the best and most efficient that I can. I have enough jobs to a degree to warrant getting a chipper or a shredder. Now I'm going to be straight and up front here. I spend about 2023 I spent about £300 on waste tipping fees. This year I've halved that. It's about £140. How come you've halved it? I found somewhere, there's a nursery near to me, so if I've got waste and I just want it gone, I take it to the waste recycling plant, drive up, tip it straight onto their floor, go on the weighbridge, £60 a tonne, simple. I've still got to get it in a trailer, I've still got to get it into ton bags, still got to get it into my van, but it's cheap. I've got somewhere that I can take it for free, but he's got a very strict list of what he does want and what he doesn't want. He'll take grass clippings a certain amount at a certain time of the year. He will take logs of a certain size, but ideally logged up so he doesn't have to cut them. He will take certain types of branches. He won't take anything with a thorn, and he won't take anything with a evergreen leaf. So he won't take laurel clippings or conifers. But it's handy. There's times where I've gone and I've done privet or whatever, and he's had it. There's times where I've said to him, do you want, he said, have you got conifer? I think it's because he wanted a good fire, but you know what I mean. So you might be thinking, well, why do you want to get a chipper or a shredder? Because it will make those 20, 30, 40, whatever many jobs I do, easier, for one. And I'll tell you now, but I'll talk about it a little bit towards the end. I don't know what my future will bring. I'm not saying that and I'm going away sort of type, but me and the missus, we're getting on. Next couple of years, we'll probably start looking at getting a house. And you know what happens when you get a house? You get a child. And then even if you don't get a child, you know what you get when you get a house? You get bills. You get expensive bills. So I'd rather purchase that £3,000 piece of equipment now, and it's mine, and I can look after it. It's not going to destroy itself. It's not going to go away. I've got it, opposed to doing it in 2 or 3 years' time. Because you never know with this industry. It might be a case now where I say have 20 tree-based jobs a year. I might get it where I get in more and more and more and more, and I need it. And then I'll get it, and you imagine going to the missus, I need to spend £3,500 on a chipper. And who knows what they'll be in time. They might be even more. So that's the plan. Like I said, it's not everybody's cup of tea. I won't be buying it and just looking at it and going, oh, that's nice, that'll be handy when I need it. It will get use, but it probably won't get as much use as in day-to-day use. But like I said, while the goings are good now, I'd rather do it while the costs are cheaper. So that's my thinking. And the same with other equipment. I'm looking at getting one of those nice big high-end mulching mowers. Again, it's not so much that it's going to get used all the time. It's there and I've got it. I look after my equipment. I take as much care as I can as possible. So that's my sort of philosophy on equipment. And as well, I don't know what will happen in the future. It might be a case that when I go, have this up, I can't keep having earning ups. I can't keep doing. It might be a case where I have to rapidly alter the work that I do. Is then go part time. I don't know. I hope not. I'm not trying to put fat on the fire or, keep it mysterious where, I just don't know. You just don't know. So I want to have this good foundation of equipment. And the worst comes to the worst, people who want second-hand equipment, they know when something has been looked after and has had hardly any use. So they'll pay for it. Yes, you'll lose money, but there's always an out. That's how I see it. So, like I said, as well, main goal, put as much money back into the business. That's for this year. I'll talk a little bit about the few years from now. Customer goals. This is going to be an interesting one. I want to maintain my same cost. So I've always said this, if I can take over last year's 2024 customers to 2025, I'll be happy. But I've lost some. We all lose customers every single year. I lost 4 last year to death. So they're now living with Jesus. I lost 2 customers where I got rid of them. They were shit. They were, well, that sounds horrible, but they were just unreliable, put on me. So, last year I lost 6 regular customers. Now I think got about 3, but I've been lucky as in I've had other floating work coming in. I want to get a few more regular customers just to shore that up, bolster that up. Where I want to sort of go next year is more with the exterior cleaning business, keep growing that, keep getting the exterior cleaning work. That's where I want to be going next year. I want to be getting as much exterior cleaning work as I can for my business size, because that's where I think that's what's going to help me get better. The next one is, there's 2. First one is being closer to zero tolerance. Now, what I mean by that is, I don't want to be the gardener that's like, right, you left the door open, you're gone. Sorry, you've left the door closed, you're gone. I've turned up at your gate, it's shut, you're gone. I've turned up, there's a dog shit, you're gone. I don't want to be that sort of gardener. I believe in give and take. Everyone makes mistakes, but at the moment, you've got that line there, which is zero tolerance. I'm more this side here, where I'm putting up with it. I'm making excuses, saying to the customer, I'm thinking to myself, oh, I don't want to rock the cart. There's been a few times this year, and this is the next one. Make tougher decisions sooner. So those tough choices, those tough decisions, should I keep Mrs. Such and Such, or should I fuck her off? Call it sooner. I had this year, there was 2 customers who I mentioned. One of them was a regular customer from the previous season, 2023. Realistic, you don't realise until afterwards, but the writing was on the wall then, but I put it off. And I kept putting up with it, because she was an okay customer, she was good, she was a returning customer, whatever. And all that happened was she kept putting on. She didn't see it, because she just, I think in a way, maybe she thought we were friends and that she could get away with that behaviour. I don't know, but like I said, it's something that I should have reacted sooner. I should have nipped it in the bud. We've all done it, where we all know that the writing's on the wall. We shouldn't put up with it, but we do put up with it. And it's a case that, you know, I need to make these harsh decisions sooner. I think it's like, you know, it's like anything. You don't want to, you know, keep going for a year. It's like now, if I take a customer on at the start of the year and I do 2 visits and I just know it's not going to go well and it's going to end up as in customer keeps putting on me, I'll get rid of them. This sounds horrible, but you shouldn't put up with something for a full season just out of loyalty. You know, I've seen it where other gardeners on YouTube and off YouTube, they say, oh, it's the worst, they'll never do it, I wouldn't dream of doing it. Well, my answer to that is you're in business for yourself, you're self-employed. You shouldn't have to put up with people like that. And there's people out there that prey on nice people like me and you and, you know, other people that you know. That's where they, and I think they enjoy it. As horrible as that sounds, I think they get some form of enjoyment from being like this, and it shouldn't be like it. So that's my goals for 2025 season, guys. Keep going. It's, you know, use this time now to rest up and relax. It is hard, but manage, look ahead, manage what you've got, manage, you know, look at, you're self-employed. You know, it's the one perks of being in business and being self-employed is if something isn't right, change it. You know, I used to love my old job, but it changed because the new boss was terrible. You know, and I realised that there's no job progression, nothing because of that. And I don't want to be in a situation like that. So for me, I love my job now, but if it is that people start changing that, as in customers change how I feel, they put on me or they make me feel like I should change for them, as in, you know, well, you should work for nothing for me. It's simple, they have to look for another gardener. So have a good day, guys. As usual, keep on gardening.